Those were good days when I did not believe in ghosts. I was wandering here and there for a long time in search of a job. Then with great difficulty I got a night shift job in a hotel. Due to poverty and financial crisis at home, she was ready to do any job. So, despite being reluctant, I agreed to the night shift job at the hotel. In a night shift job at a hotel, you get to meet some interesting people, but it's still a pretty easy job. You just need to have the courage to stay up all night. In other words, you get paid for sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours. If a customer comes, it is okay. Otherwise, the whole time is yours. Then at night you have to prepare the report and set up breakfast in the morning. After that you can go home. But the problem is that as the darkness of the night increases, your heart starts pounding. I mean, yes, there is a lot of light in the lobby. But it was completely dark outside. And more noise. Loneliness. This is the biggest problem with night shift jobs in hotels. I am all alone here at night. And no other coworker works with me. Leaning makes this job of mine even more depressing. There is no satisfaction in knowing that you are just 30 feet away from a person who might be sleeping in his room at this time. Sometimes I feel as if the world has come to an end. And you are the only one alive. Yes, it also happens sometimes that someone comes from another city. Or a family check-in at 4 a.m. Seeing the smiling faces. I also have to pass a fake smile. Then, just some small formalities and then the same loneliness, staring into the darkness, and just waiting. When will it be morning and when will I be able to go home? There is no way to divert your mind. How can you expand your mind when something is bothering you in your mind? Shortly after starting the night shift, I would suddenly get goosebumps. I felt something stuck in my heart as if someone or something was staring at me. The lobby of the hotel is something like this. First of all, there is a door in front of us, like the ones in hotels, made of transparent glass, which I used to lock after my colleagues left and started his shift. As we come inside, we reach our common area. There is a sofa set and a table here. There is a pile of magazines on the table. After this is our breakfast area. Since this hotel is small, it seems a bit congested. To my right is another door that leads to the swimming pool area. It is very small, uncomfortable and awkwardly designed. Anyway, I don't get paid for interior designing. One gets paid for keeping all these things safe. And yes, there is a bell outside the main door, which can be played by any guest who comes at night. Then I go and unlock the gate and welcome guest. Actually, this main gate should be open 24 hours because this is a hotel, but this hotel is in the middle of a highway where there is nothing around. The next petrol pump is also 45 minutes away from here. It must have been around 4 o'clock in the night. This was my second or third night, so I had not yet got into the habit of staying awake at night. My eyes were heavy and I was dozing off every once in a while. Then there came a point when I fell asleep completely. Just then the doorbell rang. I immediately stood up from my seat and I ran towards the keyway gate. While I was sleeping, I started opening the gate, then I looked towards the transparent mirror. There was no one outside. I thought maybe someone had waited too long and left. I cursed myself for sleeping at the new job. The only thing I was afraid of was that my boss would get a complaint in the morning. I went straight to the breakfast area and made a strong coffee for myself. I had decided to stay awake all night. After a while the bell outside rang again. This time I reached close to the door before the bell rang completely, but still there was no one there. There can't be any kids joking with me at this time of the night. After this, nothing happened the whole night. After 2-3 nights passed. Now I had got used to the night shift and had started working well. Our hotel manager was very happy with me. He never got tired of praising me. But the manager had no idea how easy the job was. And as managers do, he rewarded my good work by giving me more work. He asked me to clean the swimming pool area a bit and prepare the breakfast area. I said okay. It was not a difficult job and I don't mind cleaning, and at least there would be something to pass the time at night. The manager forgot to tell this, that there was very little light near the swimming pool. Just in the corners of the swimming pool walls, 4 40-watt bulbs were installed, whose presence or absence was the same. Darkness begins where the light of the light bulb ends. And our boundary wall seemed even further away because of the darkness. I know, I might sound like a timid girl to you. But if you have never done such a job, so you will not understand that even if you are completely awake at night, something still feels different. A person's mind changes a bit. In such a place, even the bravest man in the world would be scared. And he will remain scared. Very strange thoughts come to mind when I look beyond the swimming pool. So I feel like maybe something will come out of the darkness and come towards me any minute now. I took 2 or 3 deep breaths to compose myself and started cleaning the swimming pool. There were only a few dry leaves. I bent down to pick them up and suddenly I saw a trembling shadow in the water of the swimming pool, blacker than coal, right behind me. I turned so fast that I was about to fall. I tried hard to hold myself, but there was nothing there. I turned the boat towards the water. There was nothing there either. I somehow quickly cleaned up and quickly went and locked the door. That night I even forgot to switch off the outside lights. Whenever I talk about this to my morning shift colleagues, they make fun of me as if I am trying to scare them. At least they don't think I'm crazy. But I also feel irritated thinking that no one is believing what I say. While working in this hotel, after completion of 1 month, the most terrible accident of my life happened. It was in the news that day. Is there going to be a terrible storm today? Due to which there will be a power cut. I was watching this news sitting in the breakfast area. This news was still going on TV. That suddenly the power went out. There was complete silence in the hotel like a graveyard. Neither the sound of the fridge nor that of the computer. Just the sound of the storm raging outside. A guest from one of the rooms called. I received the call. The guest was a 118 or 19-year-old boy. Who was complaining that the geyser was not working. Our generator broke down 2 days ago. Because of that there was no power backup. I thought, who takes a bath so late in the night, what will he do with the geyser? Well, I could not tell this to the guest. After arguing for a long time and saying sorry, he finally hung up the phone. Consider it my good luck or bad luck, because after that no one else called me. I had to spend the night alone. I had only one torch, the one with a long steel body which is used by watchmen also these days. My father always used to say that one should always be prepared for bad times. Well, I listened to him. But one problem was that the torch was very old. Its light was somewhat weak. And it used to stop in between. Then I heard that sound. People may or may not say anything. It was the sound of wind blowing or air coming out of a dry tap or a door closing. No matter what anyone says, but I clearly heard it was the sound of a woman moaning which was echoing in the entire lobby. This was not the sound of a storm. I was nobody. Even if I tell him, he doesn't listen. It was a painful scream that was coming from all the walls. And I was moving the torch in all directions, trying to see where this sound was coming from. Slowly, the sound of doing that. She started coming closer. And then, when the light of the torch fell on the indoors, I screamed. That shadow was standing just 2 feet away from me. His face looked as if something had mutilated it. In place of eyes, there were 2 holes filled with black darkness and his thin, withered face. There was a bad smell coming from his body, as soon as the light of the torch fell on him. Then his body started trembling. As if she was coming to me, Asta, slowly. In the dark. My mother-in-law came to my mother-in-law. But still I was not able to move even an inch from that place. I could not understand what had happened. It took me some time to compose myself. Then I quietly went and sat in front of the computer. This was a dream, this was reality. In a short while it became morning. And I went home without telling anyone. I called my boss and told him that I am leaving today. I won't be able to come to work tonight. I am not feeling well. I wanted to leave this job. But this job was obtained after a lot of hard work and struggle. And I didn't have to listen to taunts after going back home. After that, whenever I tried to sleep, then that face would appear in front of my eyes, and this thought also comes to mind, that if the light of the torch had not fallen on him at the right time, so who knows what would have happened? Or what if that torch didn't work? I have been working here for 4 months, 3 weeks and 6 days. If it had been 6 months, I could have left this job. But 4 months of work experience is of no use. It is dark now. And I have reached the night shift. According to the news, that storm is going to come again today. I know. I have fully charged my laptop and have also kept an extra battery. It should last the whole night. The previous thundering sound was heard outside a few minutes ago. My torch is left in my car. Now I can't even move my arms. Everything is complete darkness. No low battery warning. The other battery is on the sofa. I shouldn't worry. As long as the laptop has power, I'm fine, as long as nothing can happen to me. Laptop. Power off. 5 years ago, a woman's body was found in a bad condition in a room of this hotel. It is said that a new shift staff of the same hotel murdered that woman with a knife at night, when the lights of the entire hotel were out. The next morning, the hotel staff found the woman's dead body in her room. The condition of the dead body was such that it seemed as if it had been completely mutilated. But the hotel staff who committed this crime absconded the next day. The next day people found the dead body of this hotel night shift receptionist on the counter floor. But no one knows what happened to her at night, and no evidence has been found as to who killed her.